Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Esports at UCF Student Series for the summer. We have grand finals here between the Bobfish and the Worcestershire Sauce, and we're in for a treat here. I think we have two pretty good teams squaring up head to head in the last match of the season to cap off this tournament, and looking forward to some great gameplay today.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, just looking at the teams themselves, right? Like we've got a couple familiar faces and a couple, kind of up and coming players. We've got players like Sky Mirage on the side of Worcestershire Sauce, coming in off the last student series finalist there. And we've even got some players from the UCF main team, players like Zeit, one of the past tanks, and a couple other recognizable names like Matterday, Antro, and Andrewsome. So but we also have a couple up and comers, a lot of strong players, a lot of strong performances in the season leading up to this. So it
Yeah,
definitely looks like we're gonna have a really strong, really strong, really competitive game coming up.
yeah, absolutely. And we actually have some clips to show from the last match on the side of, I believe it was Bobfish. Or is it Worcester?
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. Well, Bobfish has a couple clips to show. Um, they are a very dive-heavy team because Zate's signature character is that monkey. So we'll see a couple clips of Echo, a couple clips of Monkey, and this team is really just dive-heavy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, focusing on that dive, focusing on that target isolation is going to definitely be probably a part of their game plan going into this final. Trying to, take off their targets, take one target, take them out of the fight, turn it into a 4v5. But yeah, we'll go and see, kind of how they've been playing in the past and maybe get an idea of how they're going to try and play it today.
Yeah. And let's see this clip roll. We have Zate on the monkey, obviously on Dumbani. Typically pretty standard composition. Both teams are running the monkey Echo, but you can see that Zate is pretty comfortable on his main hero, not really too invested in the brawl or the rush compositions that we're seeing in meta currently. Which may be interesting because I don't know how much Esports World Cup you've watched, Landon, but I think a lot of the time teams are favoring the rush compositions with Ramatra, Reinhardt, and some of the poke composition with Sigma. So it'll be interesting to see how the dive of the monkey plays out into those compositions.
Yeah, of course. I mean, looking at it, you can kind of see kind of that, that main priority of dive, taking that one target, isolating him, taking him out of the fight. Here you can see in this clip, Zeit finds that introduction, onto Weedy, take that early pick off, and now it's a 4v5. That Sigma not really able to do anything to Zeit on the opposite high ground, requiring them to drop, and that just lets Zeit kind of run around, get the high ground control, force the supports, the DPS all off, and just kind of pick them off one by one, giving them an early, an easy point cap off of that, going to clean kills, and you can kind of see like some of the poke comps will definitely struggle into this dive style. That Sigma unable to cross, and on a couple maps, dive is definitely at its strongest, and Bonnie's one of them. But I'm very curious to see how they might try and play, or if they try and stick to this dive style and maybe a bit more of the brawl heavy maps. You'll see like certain points of things like Nepal, King's Row, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are definitely some maps where brawl is favored and poke is favored, all that stuff. So we'll see maybe Circuit Royale, maybe a change in composition for Zeit. And some of the other poke maps such as Havana or Junkertown, definitely not dive favored, but Zeit's making it work. I mean, I've seen this guy in a couple other matches as well. He's very comfortable on the monkey character, on the Winston, on the scientist, and makes it work regardless of the circumstances. And like you talked about earlier, the Sigma just can't really do anything. So if Worcestershire Sauce wants to play the Sigma composition, they need to be wary of this dive from Zate and from Matterday, because that tag team, that duo, is too good to ignore, especially on a split map like Numbani.
Yeah, definitely. If we want to maybe go on to the next clip, you can see a couple more examples of how they're trying to execute this dive, how they're trying to take advantage of their opponent's weakness and cons. Because going into it, yeah. So here we've got Matterday on that Sombra, on that Colosseo map. So a bit more of a less dive favored map, but definitely dive still strong. Able to set up for those EMPs, play in the backline to get that easy execution off with the EMP and just clean up with that Nano Monkey. And definitely showing, like, again, like even on these less dive favored maps where things like poke and brawl are a bit more prevalent, with the right executions and the right coordination, you're definitely able to make things like this Winston and this Sombra work, even whenever you might be at a bit of a compositional disadvantage.
Yeah, and that is one of the advantages of dive. If you are a high skill cap team, you have all the resources in the world and all the coordination to make this composition work. and that's why it's favored in regions like Korea. You've seen historically Korean teams lean towards the dive versus the rush because it's more difficult, more complex to play, but has a higher skill ceiling than the other compositions.
Yeah, definitely. And now even moving on, another clip, just watching how they execute that dive. You got Yaro kind of pressuring the backline while Zite's constantly getting pressure. You can also see, you know, the way that they're playing into these poke comps. You know, Sigma's definitely been in a bit of a weird spot in the meta where Sigma's traditionally a poke tank, but has been getting played in these much more brawl style comps with things like the Lucio, things like the Baptiste, you know, trying to take Sigma's pressure up close and personal. But even then, like, even when you're getting these kind of brawl style comps, with the right, you know, target focus, execution on the right targets at the right time, you're definitely able to make these wins and compositions work. You know, take that pressure off. Got Tracer just constantly shredding the backline, applying that DPS passive, making it impossible for this slower kind of composition to lock down on a target and punish them for making maybe an unhealthy dive.
Yeah, and I mean, with the addition of that DPS passive buff to recently, I believe it was a couple patches ago, where they put it back at, I believe it's 15%. And that 50% healing reduction onto the squishies just makes it even easier for a Winston to dive with a Tracer or Echo and potentially secure a first pick like we saw in that fight. And I mean, Yarrow, from what I can tell, extremely talented Tracer player, and that is what you don't want to see out of a dive team, because if they have the resources and the coordination, all they need is mechanics to execute, and Yarrow is showing that they have that absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tracer, a very, I don't want to say polarizing, but definitely a very influential hero in the right hands, especially on these dive compositions, but on a lot of compositions, and maybe even going into the game, you might see, you know, this team maybe shift away from their dive style if they start getting countered, but still play around that strong Tracer gameplay. Tracer can definitely make a lot of plays by herself, no matter what the map is, even on less Tracer favored maps. A lot of the talented Tracer players will just force her and get the gameplay going. Tracer able to force so much tempo, so much pressure all around the map due to that high mobility, that high damage, but at the cost of requiring a very talented player to pull her off to the highest level.
Yeah, Tracer is one of those characters where you need a very high skill ceiling, or else she would be extremely busted.
Oh,
Tracer, Tracer is one of those characters where if you can execute at the highest level, we've seen it in Overwatch League. She has been permanently meta for the last, I don't know how many years. You've always seen Tracer in different compositions, whether it's dive, whether it's brawl, whether it's poke. You always see a Tracer or some variant of that character in different compositions, regardless of the meta. And I mean, with Rush being as meta and as good as it is right now, a dive composition onto the backline is the only way to stop that rush.
Yeah, of course. I mean, focusing down those supports in the back line, a lot of these rush compositions are prioritizing things like the Lucio, things like the Baptiste. So even then, you got to be careful with that. You know, the target you're selecting, the Lucio, definitely going to be kind of hard to pin down. Oh, constantly jumping around, constantly flying around. And even then, look at, you know, you have the Baptiste, but you have to be careful forcing out that regen burst, forcing out that immortality field. Because if you take a bad dive, an unhealthy dive on one of those supports, you're just going to get popped by the opposing DPS, because at the same time, they have access to the same DPS passive you do. And therefore, if you get split from your team taking that dive, all of a sudden you're in a 4v1 and it's not looking
Bad
bright for
time.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad time.
exactly.
And I mean, with that said, I think it's about time that we get into it. It is rapidly approaching game time, and I'm excited to see what these two teams can do. So I believe we are going to toss it over to our casters in a minute. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for breaking it down. Got to see some good clips, and hopeful to see some good gameplay out of both teams.
Of course. Good luck to both teams. I look forward to seeing a really, really strong, really competitive series, looking to see how they innovate and, you know, how they play off each other.
playing Antarctic Peninsula? Bro.
All right. Is that like for us or? Oh no! So my audio got cut into it. Oh, that's awkward. Okay.
What's wrong? Did stream shut down? Hello.
Did you just say hello, bro?
Yeah, I said hello. By the way,
Yep.
they can hear us. We're live.
Oh, that's amazing. We're just gonna jump right into it. All right, I guess I'll do my intro. Oh. If you guys can hear this right now, we are having some serious technical difficulties right now.
Holy, okay, we have match on. Perfect.
Okay, we ready? Okay, cool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Esports at UCF. Tonight, we've got the Overwatch 2 finals for our student summer series. I said that completely wrong, but welcome back. I think everything is working just right. But I am your host, Golden Feather. Tonight, we will be returned with our resident expert, Momo Monkey Man. How are we doing tonight, Momo?
I'm personally doing pretty well. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch today, and I'm ready to cast some as well. Do we want to look at the teams real quick?
I believe our analysts have already broken down everything that we've got for our team so far, but it seems like right now, for Blue Team, we have our, oh my god, I need to say this name right, Worcestershire sauce. I believe I said that right. And on Red side, we have
You did.
Bobfish. And let's do a quick little recap for those who may not have been here before. What do we know about these teams of ours?
Well, we have a little bit of a mystery card here in Worcestershire sauce, which I also just mispronounced. I love that name, by the way. We have not had any streams with them before, mostly due to scheduling conflicts, but we know a lot more about Bobfish. They're a traditional dive team. They're playing mostly monkey dive with usually Tracer or Sombra or another dive DPS.
Yeah, just our traditional dive, which is a very interesting decision into this very brawl heavy meta. And as many of you may know, dive kind of does counter brawl if you do it correctly. So in that case, maybe Bobfish has a good chance of winning here. But again, we have our wild card here on the other side. So we don't know exactly what Worcestershire Sauce is going to pull for us today. Maybe they got something to counter the dive, since I think they are aware of the strategy, or maybe they'll just go with the brawl. But I guess we're about to find out. And our first map right now is going to be Lijiang Tower, which from what I recall, it's a very nice map. But for our dive, I think it might be all right. I haven't played in a while.
It isn't a very good dive map, to tell you the truth. It's a very brawl heavy map, especially this specific one, Control Center.
Okay.
It is very brawl heavy. Oh, so they're calling for a pause? No, they aren't.
Okay, well, it seems like we're going to jump straight into the action here. It seems like we have Zeit right on the monkey dive strategy once more. His DPS are going to be Sombra and Trace. They're two very amazing dive characters. But it looks like on the other side, looks like we also have a Diva for the tank, which is very interesting because you have Cassie and May as your DPS, which is a bit more brawl, but maybe the comp will work. But at the start here, it seems like we have Bobfish taking control of the point before it activates. It's going to activate very soon, but look at this dive, this very strange backline push here. 2 kills go off right off the bat. 2 supports gain 2 kills here. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Zite's right in the middle trying to get a kill, but no, gets wiped out by Sky in an instant, which is the tank down on the side of Bobfish was going to make this push way harder for Bobfish. And now it seems like despite having the open advantage onto point, it's going to be Worcestershire sauce to take the first control of it. Wow, what are we thinking about this play?
I'm certainly thinking that if you're looking across the board, we see a Winston versus a Diva. Normally that's a dive v dive matchup, but they're playing Diva here as a brawl tank, and it's really showing the new Diva buffs, which is increasing the length of root defense matrix and using micro missiles. And it's really
what a nice shot there, though. Oh my god, just immediate shutdown from Russ, getting that headshot on a Tracer. You love to see those, but let's see if counterplay is possible. McCree is first one off the board, but Rio goes down in response because anyone else is gonna die. Zite gets a second kill. Might be a good retake here. I don't know. Might be possible. Drew has to back off just a little bit. And now it's going to be made as really well here. Will he survive? No, he does not. Nice headshot from the Somber to finish the job. And now it's going to be a nice retake from Bobfish as Diva tries to maintain a bit of a hold. Might be a stagger. Now D-Mech, he has to run it. Oh my god, insta-kill to close the push off. And now we have control back in the hands of Bobfish. I mean, I remember these games with Bobfish a while ago, and they had some very nice back and forth going on here. So do you think we're going to have a very similar situation this game, or are we going to see something different?
Well, Overwatch is always a game in back and forth, honestly. But I think that there's going to be less of it than last time.
Right, but it seems like we have some ultimates going off right now. A nice Deadeye to execute Zite with a few ults going off. That is both DPS ults off from Worcestershire sauce, but now they have 3 other ults from the supports and the tank to maintain a play, whereas Bobfish just used, I think they just used Monkey ult there, which might be, I wouldn't call it a throw, but is a very costly defeat there. Now that Worcestershire sauce has taken control of the point once more. The point is contested, but who's going to go down first? A Diva bomb, no kills. Zite gets a kill on the Kiriko, but 2 kills back on the side of Worcestershire sauce as you get a nice Diva bomb kill followed by a nice shot by McCree. Another shot to finish the job. Rocket is the next one to fall, and oh my god, again, just a retake on both sides, but in the favor of Worcestershire sauce. This is a very intense round, but I don't know, what do you think is going to happen in this next play?
What I've been seeing is that Worcestershire sauce has been getting higher value trades. Like, they're getting a support for DPS every time that they take a fight.
Right,
and he comes out and immediately wins
that's
this
gonna
fight.
happen once more. Oh my god, Akiri
Lose this fight.
Dude, Jesus Christ, the triple execute just to maintain the pressure once more. Can anyone hold the point? No, I think this might be the if for the round, but Zite's still alive just for a little bit. He has to jump away, but overtime clock is taking him down, and no, not enough health to come back. And that is, wait a minute, that's Tracer coming in, delaying just a little bit longer. I don't know if it's gonna count to anything, but I don't know. It's not one for me to give up hope just yet. And the overtime counter is just gonna finish off right there. The round is pretty much over, but that is gonna be a nice victory on the side of Worcestershire sauce for the first round. Oh my god, that name is still messing me up.
It really is difficult. That Sombra was right on the edge. I don't know if camera saw it, but Matter Day, the Sombra, was about to touch point again, just 1 millisecond off of it getting another touch, which might have turned it around, considering the entire team of Bobfish was coming back.
Right, that's why I say don't give up hope just yet. I don't know, just that 1 second could mean the difference, but unfortunately, he got knocked away right at the end there, which was just a nail in the coffin for that play. I don't know, maybe they can pull something back this time on the outside part of Legion Tower. I forget what it's called, but I don't know. What do you think of dive on this part of the map? I mean, from what I recall, it's not bad. So, I don't know. Let's hear it from the professional.
Dive is significantly better on this part of the map. It's just more open, allows more space. There's a lot of setup angles, especially for Tracer. I feel like we're gonna see Yaro try to be taking the side angle, and they're trying. Oh, and then Russ is able to push him off of the side.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, it seems like with Lucio on the side of Bobfish, they're able to get to point first, but with the nice combined pressure of Worcestershire sauce just melting down Winston. He has to back off right off the bat, and that is just control given right back over despite having the initial advantage. And now the clock is ticking. The points are moving over to Worcestershire sauce. As Russ goes for another headshot, Sky ends up taking kill instead, which gives him a second, now third kill, a nice triple kill to open this round off. And again, just having just a nice coordinated push to wipe out Zeit before he can get the pressure he needs to, you know, actually capture the point. But I don't know.
I really think that Mei here is the deciding factor of these fights. She's able to split off the team with a wall and been able to slow down the tank and have control of them, really, and which allows her team to kind of wrap around Zeit and kill him pretty quickly, which is what seems to be happening most of these fights.
Right, because with the dive comp that Bobfish has been pulling out here, they have an Ana on the backline to heal the Winston. And if you get blocked off by wall, you really can't get value out of it, which seems to be happening once more because Zeit just goes down immediately and Lucio is next to fall, which means that push is over. And now we're going on 50-0 here on the second point, which if Worcestershire sauce wins this, they will get a 2-0 victory for the first game. But I don't know, let's see if Bobfish can pull something back. I don't think they're planning on changing their strategy anytime soon in terms of comp, but maybe they have a different angle planned out here. They're going from the backside of the point. Winston's gonna go in first. Can he get any pressure? No, not just yet. He has to wait for the right moment. Leo has to back off, take some cover. The wall gets placed not in a great spot from Mei here, but that might be exactly what Bobfish needs to jump on it. Here comes Winston going for the dive. Can anyone else follow? Oh my god, this kill onto the Kiriko. That's a, oh my god, the Blizzard to take out on it. A nice little trade there. It's a 2-for-1 right now, but Drew still has the Diva Bomb, and there it goes right into the top of point. He had to get off, and oh my god, no kills, but enough pressure needed to push Zeit off a point. But now he's coming back. Does he have the damage to kill? Diva though, no, she's still at full health. The Lucio's right there with him though. Oh my god, he's right, he's so low. They put the rocket dash. Oh my god, the sweep from Ana. Oh my god, 9-9-0 overtime. Diva has to push in 2 kills, go off. Oh my god, that's the defense matrix off the board. Wait, it's not defense matrix. That is a nice kill. Oh my god, the points going once more. It's all just 1-for-1s here, just one at a time, trying to jump in, save whatever is possible. 9-0. Zai's over on the Doomface. He can't block all that damage. Oh my god, someone's back again. Wait a minute. It's just a fiesta.
I do think it's over now, unfortunately. Trickling in at the last moment, possibly getting a play, but seems like they don't really have any left. I do feel like what this was just an example of how strong Mei can be into a dive comp. Like, every fight that Mei is able to disrupt them. Even that final fight where they started gaining momentum, it was because the Mei missed the wall, but then she bought it right back with her ultimate. And I feel like that is the lesson of the story. If you're playing into Mei, you need to be ready for it. And I don't think that Bobfish worked for this map.
Yeah, I don't think they were prepared to fight such an oppressive brawler like Mei. Mei kind of shuts down most dive champions. I mean, I hear from a lot of Genji players, a lot of just anyone who can just jump in. You don't want to jump onto Mei because you're just going to be slowed down to a crawl, and getting slowed down to a crawl in this game is pretty much a death sentence. So I think Bobfish has to rethink their strategy or think of a counter for Mei to finally get the pressure they need to make a good dive work. Because again, like we said, Brawl is very strong right now. The dive has to be almost perfect if they want to win. And so far, it hasn't been perfect. But hey, maybe it's just a warm-up round. It's the first game of the night. Maybe they just haven't caught their stride just yet. But I don't know. Do we have any bets on the board for what this next game is going to be?
Well, this next game, once again, this is Overwatch, and I say this every time that we have maps. Maps are probably the most important thing in this entire game, because if you choose the right map, no matter what you're running, it can work, or it can be foiled just by the way the map is played. If we see a very brawl-centric map being chosen here, which I very much doubt considering Bobfish are the ones who are going to be choosing the map, then they're not going to be able to do anything because Mei will be able to shut them out just like on Li Zhang. But certainly for a much more open map, a much more diveable map, Mei can't really do that much. If you just put your heroes in the right positions, you can kind of play around a Mei wall. And I feel like that's what we're going to try to be doing here.
Right, going for a flank, and even if they do change to have, like, let's say their Ana be a bit of a threat to the Mei with range, because again, Mei is kind of countered by range just by having right clicks. You still beat Mei if you have a nice on, or any sniper to just shut down the pressure you have from close range by just making the distance. And again, like you say, you can go for a nice flank. Just simply go around the wall. Don't try to push through it. Just walk around it, and that's a whole ability out the window. But again, that's something that Bobfish does have to kind of plan out in these fleeting moments before the game starts. We don't know what the map is yet. I think they're still discussing that, but
It seems like the consensus is Nubani right now, at least from yeah, I think that's what's going to be happening. Nubani is a very open map, especially first point, and actually no, I'll say all the points of Nubani are very open. It'd be difficult for a Mei to separate off a back line in this
right.
situation.
And also in that first point there's a lot of verticality to work with that May's not great into. Um,
Certainly not.
which it does fall off a little bit as you push through the map because there's less like balconies and higher points that you can jump off of as Winston. But up on that first point, you're especially weak as Mei, which means I doubt Sky is going to play Mei again, at least for the first point, and probably play a different Brawl champion that does perform well against Dive. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Cassidy again. Maybe I wouldn't say Ash, even though Ash does snipe out pretty much anyone who wants to push because of the Winston. Winston does perform very well against any sniper. So I don't think there's going to be any snipers being pulled out for this point, despite snipers being very nice for all the verticality and the nice long sidelines you have. So I'm thinking
You just can't
more.
play snipers
Yeah.
into a Sombra, and we've seen the proficiency of Bobfish and Sombra play before, so there's definitely not going to be a Widow at the very least.
Yeah, if you pick Widow, I will admit you're probably throwing. For the purpose of playing Widow, I'm not voice cracked. You didn't hear that. If you did hear that, you're crazy. But
No record.
yeah, of course. But yeah, it seems like yes, you're correct. The map is Numbani. I think the stream just didn't catch up for me. But yeah, so Numbani, I'm again gonna put my money on Cassidy for the defense or just any brawl character because I'm 90% sure Bobfish is gonna try the same kind of dive comp again, something the same if not something similar. See, there we go. You got
Identical.
Sombra, but ooh,
And Cassidy, you're right.
yeah,
But
it seems
Sky
that-
Mirage hasn't chosen yet. This is going to be a very interesting. They're actually
May.
pulling out the Mei.
It's pretty much the same comp as last time, except there's a few differences, as in Yaro's playing Genji now, which, again, Genji does not perform well into Mei at all. I think Mei is technically one of his hardest counters, but...
It's up there.
Yeah, she's up there. There's a lot of counters to Genji. That's why most people don't play him, plus he has a very high skill floor, I believe.
He does.
So...
I'd say Genji has just about the highest skill floor in the game. But Yaro is a very good player and a very good Genji player as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get value out of this, even though he is playing into a Mei.
Yeah,
it really depends on how they're going to set up the dive here, honestly. And I feel like if they go for a full setup, they will be able to probably take this in first fight.
Right. Something I am noticing here is how the defense is kind of split up two ways. Right now, you have Diva and Briggs sitting on one balcony, whereas you have everyone else on the other, which might be better for Dive because, again, you can easily outnumber one side. But I don't know, this might turn into a pincer maneuver instead. Here comes Zite going in, but oh my god, Rocket just eating a bullet to the face. And Zite has to back off. The wall is going down, and the Winston bubble is down as well. A hack out the sky though. Drew has to back up, but one kill goes off. Yaro gets taken down with a headshot from Cassie. Very clean shot from the Peacekeeper revolver to shut down the offensive right away. But here comes Sombra trying to make something work here. Unfortunately, this defense it's just a little strong for Dive, even though Dive is pretty nice on this point. It's going to be very difficult to push through this, but Yaro's back. He wants some revenge. Well, let's see who's with him. Oh my god, sounds so well. Is that Lucio down? Lucio went for a very ambitious play there, but unfortunately that will also shut down the initial offensive, leaving about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock for the offensive to push on in. I don't know, how do you think this next play is going to work out for Bobfish?
I mean, what happened last time was that Matt was unable to get into a position to set up in, and that simply meant they were playing 4v5 that entire fight. And Lucy got separated off, that's why he got picked off early.
Ooh, it seems like Zite's also going to get picked off as well, but look at that Yaro taking out Mei in the moment that she used to fight Zite, and now it's Yaro versus Oh my god, so close. He almost got the 1v2 off, but luckily his Ana was able to cover for him and get that kill off. But either way, the push is pretty much over once more. Too many people down and not enough pressure gained. This defense just too strong. And we'll look at the ults. We got 3-4 coming up on our defense, but for offense, we only have about 2 up, which...
But they are the big 2. We'll say that.
I was about to say, those 2 ults, that's a Nano Blade right there, which could mean
And we all
different.
know what Nano Blade means if we've seen Overwatch for any period of time. It's a very classic combo, and it will take out pretty much any defense if it's used perfectly.
Absolutely. I have faith in this play. They might be able to outplay 3, almost 4 ults here, but Zayt's gonna open up the offensives. Might go down, but the nano goes on him instead. It saves his life, but it cancels out the nano play. And oh my god, that blizzard to cancel everything. A nice triple kill from Mei, D.Va, and just it's a team kill right there. I'm not even gonna say triple kill. That's a team kill with 1 blizzard with also Briggs. I forget what it's called. But just immediately shutting down the offensive. I mean, Bobfish was just in that small space, and that's just a free blizzard to just freeze everyone. And there you go. The fight's over.
It was a positional mistake from the beginning. A dive team shouldn't be pushing through that small room there. That's a very much a brawl position to take. And it was very mistake to take it, at least most of the time. I won't say you can never pull out a dive there.
Right, anything's possible. Here comes the blade. A non-nano blade might do it, but he's at half health. He's looking pretty not that great there. But Zay, oh my god, what was that? A Deadeye to shut down Rocket. A nice execution kill. But here comes Zay. He's a little big. He's a little angry, but he can't get a kill just yet. He's very low. Oh my god, and that's a DPS down. That's Genji and Sombra off the board, and Zay is next to follow. And I think Lucio's gonna be up on the chopping block, but he has to escape. No, a nice shot from Cassidy to execute him. 10 seconds left on our attacker's side, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to come back in
will
time.
be able to touch most likely. Maybe not.
Oh, that's Kiri that's gonna touch instead, but oh my god, 1 HP. Wait, is that overtime? No, not even. That's round 1 complete with 0 progress on the payload.
This
and
is
that's
not looking very good for our friends with Bobfish.
Absolutely. Seems like our wild card was just a little too wild for our dive here. I mean, having D.Va play as Brawl is not something you see every day. But so far, it seems to be working, at least for the defensive. I don't know how Bobfish is going to play this, since they are a dive team on defense on Numbani. It's not a great strategy, but I don't know. It might work. It might be a little too unconventional for our friends on Worcestershire sauce to play against. But I don't know. What do you think?
Dive can be pretty strong in defense, but not when you can't afford to give them a single tick of point. Because traditionally, what you do is you give them a lot of space, like you let the enemy brawl team walk into you essentially, and then you dive over the top of them onto their back line. But
Right,
to do that,
kind
you
of.
need to let them walk forwards onto point. And I don't think that's in the cards right now.
Yeah,
Not
you
for
can't,
Bobfish.
can't exactly do that when Worcestershire sauce only has a touch point for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it really is a rough situation. So I'm surprised they haven't swapped out their comp. They should be probably playing a very defensive brawl comp here, but you know what?
That'd be the
They're
smart thing.
professionals.
That would be the smart thing to do, but hey, maybe this whole season they've been doing, let's do dive only and see how far we can go. Maybe they're doing a meme. We don't know. I mean, we haven't asked Bobfish why they're doing dive only, but I respect the hustle, and I want to see if they're gonna get their money's worth from it. But we're gonna see the nice brawl position here over in the tight corridor again. Better for brawl, so they might be able to get Hunt's point way easier. But it seems like we have our defenders jumping right on in to shut it down. But oh my god, the health bars aren't looking too good. Oh my god, 1 kill though. Zayt takes out 1 first blood. Can he get some more? Yes, he does. He gets a double kill, taking out the Cassie. Very big player there, jumping right on Kiriko. Nice triple kill. Who's next? Is it Mei? Oh my god, the point is being taken. But oh my god, Mei and D.Va taking out 2 on their way out. Then Mei solo out of the crystal, and oh my god, that's another down. Is that the offensive over? I think that is. But look at that, just a very nice positional play from
That was
Bobfish.
such a textbook anti-dive right there. And it looks like they're probably going to perform another one right now. With Zeit backing off, like, oh no, he just dies to the damage.
Oh no!
And as
A
always,
1v1 against D.Va wasn't enough. D.Va's just a little strong right now, and that's gonna leave game 2 in the hands of Worcestershire sauce. Oh my lord.
so
What
it's
was
currently
that?
2-0 Worcestershire sauce to Bobfish.
Absolutely, but I mean, Zeit is going to be the one to have the play of the game here, which is a very nice triple kill on this last defense here. I wouldn't call it a desperate maneuver, but he did show that he's taking this game very seriously, and he wants to make sure his team wins the game, even if they want to do it in a very, very unconventional fashion. But my God, it's just dive versus brawl today. It looks like.
And
So
unfortunately, Brawl is stronger against Dive and the other way around.
I mean, that seems to be the case. I thought we were playing rock, paper, scissors, but I think we have a very different game here going. This seems like a coin flip instead, where the odds, I feel like the odds were pretty even here, despite the comms technically having edges over each other. But I don't know. I feel like this is mostly a positional game, and whoever has a better position just wins.
I think the difference is that Brawl positioning is, I hate to say it, but it's a bit easier to grasp. And so a Brawl position is more so about being together, where a dive position is a lot more difficult. You have to be able to set up. And by setting up, I mean you have to have your tracer from a different angle from your tank. And even your Sombra from a different angle from your tracer. Basically make a triangle of damage and go on top of someone. It's a very difficult maneuver to pull off.
Right. And if you guys remember from a history class, there's something called the Anaconda Plan, or more notably known as a pincer maneuver, like a pincer attack. That's kind of what we want to do as dive. And it seems like our friends on Bobfish aren't exactly able to make that work. Because I mean, again, points like those is very hard to go for. Like again, like to surround the enemy. It's not exactly an easy job when you only have so many angles to push from, and some of those angles are really hard to push from. So it's definitely, a harder challenge. I respect them for making the attempt because, again, they could have easily just played the meta and we'd have a very nice even brawl versus brawl today. But I like to see that, they're trying something different, and I actually want to see them win around with it because, maybe it'll teach some people, that hey, this might work. This is another strategy you can do in your games. But it seems like our next map is Dorado for our payload map, which I don't remember. I mean, you have a lot of nice points here for dive, but you also have some very nice holding spots for brawl as well. But I don't
That's
know.
how most of maps in this game are designed.
Yeah.
The Blizzard Balance team is fairly good at creating some maps. And Dorado's a great example of it. There's a lot of dive angles. I personally think that on defense, at least Bobfish are going to be setting up on top of this like middle roof on first. I don't know how to describe it. If you're looking from cart and you look at left, it's that high ground there. It's a very traditional dive hold spot in this map. But
Yeah,
a brawl
absolutely.
works very well on the bridge, with the high ground above it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the overpass or the one on second. I think it's on
The overpass on
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, the overpass there. Yeah, that's a very nice hold for brawl. I think brawl can also do while holding from that side roof as well that they're talking about. When I play, let's
That's
say,
that's a poke position in my opinion, but personally, I think that both work very well there.
yeah, they're both possible. And given our comps, which again are pretty much the same, except Zeit is now on D.Va, which means we're gonna have a D.Va mirror match, and Rocket has switched over to Kiriko instead, which is more focused towards that brawl comp rather than Ana, which again is poke and brawl. Did I say brawl twice? I am so sorry.
You did. Maybe.
My bad. I meant to say was it poke and brawl versus dive it. What words?
They're going around the back of the map. This is a very brawly setup here, going around the back of the map like this.
Yeah, which is, again, a bit unconventional, but we're seeing here the Mei wall is going to divide the team up just a little bit, and Drew's going to get the first blood on our Lucio here, which, again, it's going to shut down the push almost immediately, but oh my god, look at that Yard trying to hold on to any piece of a play that he can, getting a nice kill on Russ, taking the Cassidy out of the fight almost in an instant, but there we go, trade on the other DPS. Sombra goes down, and now we have a very even fight on our hands as Drew and Mei are trying to hold this together as, oh my god, who's up all on the rooftops with dishing out damage. Another Mei wall to separate the D.Va out, but oh my god, Rocket's gonna be the one to kill Sky, and that's Mei off the board. Now Zayt gets to go up top, try and find an angle. It doesn't find anyone. He's gonna jump right on in once more. And look at that. Seems like Akiri and Genji are going in to get some nice executes. Not able to find any just yet, but the payload is pushing. And it seems like for the first time, Bobfish has the upper hand in the offensive. And there we go, the cleanse to start to push off. No ult up just yet, but we're getting pretty close. Yoro and Zayt getting very close to Bomb and Blade. Bomb and Blade are some very nice words to throw into this, but here we go. D-Mech onto Zayt might be the thing that shuts everything down. The momentum has fallen off, and there we go. That's a double kill for Russ as they try to finish this playoff with some nice exit picks for this very clutch defense from Worcestershire Sauce. Oh my god.
That is Overwatch at its finest, Bear. Honestly, I love seeing these sort of intense fights with back and forth, the ebb and flow. But look at what happened at the end. The dust is settled, and one team is 1-0 down. And
Yeah, it seems
I think
like
that was the most important ultimate too, because now they have Blade with no counter.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very hard to hold this. I mean, the Deadeye is going to get easily reflected, but oh my god, Zayt has to pop the Diva Bomb just to not get D-Maxed, which is not very great, but here comes another wall to cut him off. But it seems like no plays made from there just yet. Oh my god, someone just got melted. Drew just got melted, but drops the bomb as a bait. Zayt goes down, he gets D-Maxed from it, and Yoro goes down to the Deadeye. He was able to reflect it. And now Russ is reigning superior right next to Drew as the two to hold this defense all together. But it seems like that's 3 ults gone as well. Looks like Sky also popped Blizzard just for the extra salt in the wound there to close that out. Now we have only 1 minute and 15 left for our attackers to get to first point with the payload just getting to the overpass. It's just a tug of war, ladies and gentlemen.
Back and forth. That's how games of Overwatch should be. But now we have a Beat versus a Kitsune Rush. And honestly, I think Kitsune Rush is a little bit stronger. So this fight will probably go in the favor of Worcestershire Sauce.
Absolutely. I think B has a lot more initial power than Kitsune Rush, but I mean, again, it's a dive versus brawl play, but seems like Zayt's going to be first one to just rush into Mei, taking her down as the play opens up once more. Here comes Matter on this side, trying to melt down anyone he possibly can while pushing the payload. Princess is making his way through while Zayt is making quick work of the enemy team, but oh my god, it seems like Drew is not going to have any of that. 30 health though. No, Yoro has his revenge, and oh my god, Andrew doesn't get a kill on Sombra. Oh my god. The translocate just in time, but 3 meters, 2 meters. Diva may have to touch, and here comes Yoro. He's so flanking around, just playing footsies around the Diva. Oh my god, just a fly up just to get out, and that's a point 10 meters, 10 seconds. He has to make it. Oh my god. The swift step to save Kirgle's life. But here comes the team. Here comes Bobfish. They want to hold this together, but oh my god, was it the Briggle to hold the hell together? The Diva Bomb is coming up though. 98.99. He has it. He's gonna pop it though. Oh my god, but the Blade, he doesn't even need it. The Blade takes out McCree once again, and oh my god, another Diva Bomb takes out Lucio, but now it's just Drew and Sky once more. May and Diva trying to make anything they possibly can here. D-Mac. Oh my god, the D-Mac. Oh my god, it's still points out with the. Oh my god, wait, what's it? Oh my god, they hack into kill. Did they get it? They get it.
They canceled the May ult as well. They don't have Blizzard anymore.
Oh my god.
And this is why we watch Overwatch, isn't it?
That was the longest overtime on this map I've ever seen. This is my favorite map, by the way, and I've never seen anything like this before. Oh my god. I mean, the dust is settled.
I'm speechless. Oh,
Yeah,
actually, no,
I
I have some speech to say. That was a beautiful fight, but look at the ultimates now. It's a little bit in the favor of
Bobfish, yeah.
Bobfish, yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, I think losing Blizzard there, I mean, it was, honestly, I would call that unlucky, but I mean, that was a very costly blunder there. But here comes Russ with the Deadeye, but oh my god, the Diva Bomb to zone everyone off, no kills. No kills, but it does zone a little bit. Here comes Kitsune Rush. Can he find something out of it? It's a 1-for-1 so far. Russ is gonna go down 1,500 health. Oh my god, stay by Kiri, but for long, because Genji belts right through that, and he's gonna do once more. Oh my god, the rockets in the face though. Wait a minute, what a turn. May and Diva just laying waste on our attackers. I thought that was Bobfish's fight, but I guess I was wrong.
It really was. What happened there was just a very excellent play by Drew, and They just pushed in, they were able to create space, and then they used their defense matrix to stop him from really doing anything in the fight.
And oh my god, the continued rush from up top. Rocket almost falls, but oh my god, Swift steps away, just jukes Drew's spray from the shotguns. And oh my god, wait, 2 kills from Sky though. Here comes the blade. Oh my god, Drew has to run so low, but Sky with the triple kill to save the fight. And that's blade gone, but the mech is also gone. This is a very close fight here, as Drew is still demeched and leaving his team without a tank. But they're still holding strong with Briggs ult, just keeping everyone alive. The massive shield, it's pretty much a pseudo tank, exactly what he needs to get the time to get his mech back, and now he has it back. But the Blizzard is up, and Sky's at full health. He's ready to pop it. That is the beat gone, and that is that an outplay? The freeze. How many does a freeze? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. I'm sorry, what did I just see in the kill feed? Is that Drew getting a double kill with the same spray of rockets? And now, oh my god, another different. I'm still speechless from the fight before, but this is just absolutely insane. And it's that, oh my god, and that is the final Deadeye to close out anyone who's gonna get back onto point. Lucio wants to save something, and Kirgo's there next to him, but it doesn't matter because I think they're both dead anyway, and I think the wall is a nail in the coffin for that fight. And I believe. Does that mean game? Oh my gosh, is that a Diva mech? Oh, not enough time apparently, and I think that closes it out for the first round. Oh my god, I forgot that. I thought that because of how intense it was, I thought that was the end. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was so intense. This map's great. Honestly, I'm not a Dorado enjoyer, but after today, I might just be.
You might become a believer.
I might become a Dorado believer. This was excellent. This is excellent Overwatch. We saw a lot of usage of the Ultimate Akami, but I think the real difference was that even without the Ultimate Akami, Bobfish was able to pull up a few fight wins. And I think that's a difference between a great team and an excellent team. And that's what decides the number 1 to the number 2 slot in this tournament, at least.
Yeah, that's the beauty of esports, you know, the highest level of play. Like, everyone knows what's going on, but right now it's about who's going to make the most mistakes and who's going to capitalize on those mistakes. It's like it's a game of back and forth, but I mean, just any like one step wrong and that could cost everything. You never know until it happens, especially from, you know, a spectator's perspective. You don't realize what's happening until it's like, wait a minute, that costs everything. Like, you know, but it seems like for our next round here, we have very similar comps once more. It seems like our teams have discovered who they want to play, or they kind of knew that already. But I don't know. We have another Diva mirror match with the more brawl team taking the offensive this time, whereas the dive team is going for the more defensive play. And it seems like they're going to be holding from this roof, and it looks like the play is almost the same as before. A bit of deja vu with our brawlers going for the side. Push instead of the main, and they're not pushing the payload just yet, but they might get an early pick. Sky gets low. Here comes Drew to isolate the team, split him up, but Sky is pretty low. He has a crystal to survive, and now Zai is going for the mate to finish her off before she can make anything happen. The wall goes up to save, but the rockets are a little bit faster than that, and I think Zai's gonna get that kill. Oh my god, but at the cost of what? At the cost of his team, unfortunately. Oh my god, kunai to Lucio's face. Closes it out, and that's going to be a fight won by Worcestershire Sauce as they push that payload 3 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. What happened there was Yarrow died a little bit too early into that fight for Bobfish, and without the Genji, they don't have enough damage to really get through anything, especially since the entire team of Worcestershire Sauce has a lot of defensive cooldowns. They have roll, they have ice block, they have TP, they have brig.
Yeah,
So
but it seems
go
like
ahead.
the Ice Crystal is going to be the first to go here, and Russ is going to be next. A nice burst of an SMG and a Shuriken burst to end him off, but Yar goes down early once more. The wall goes off to isolate and save the team, but I don't know, the defense, it's not looking good here. A lot of people go on the side of Worcestershire Sauce, but they are healing quite well, and now they have to make something work here. Oh my god, Stumper's so low, 1 HP, he has to survive here. Zai gets Sky, and oh my god, by the skin of their teeth, I think they hold it. Zai's super low though. Summer goes down, the D-Mech is next. Brig is down as well, but I think that is Kiriko holding it together. Zai just gets remexed right off the bat. And now that, oh my gosh, it's back and forth once more. The McCree's down again. But it's going to be the Diva holding the fight together just long enough for Seema to come back. And there we go. We have May back in the fight already. Now this fight's super close. No ults off just yet, but we have a few ready on standby. We have a Blizzard ready to go. Oh my god, the Diva bomb from the skies gets a double kill on both of the supports, which might be it for this fight. But let's see. Oh my god, there's a D-Meg, and I think that is it for this fight, despite having Genji trying his best to hold it together. Oh my god.
I'm a Dorado believer. Oh man. That fight was really defined by just the picks. Honestly, the end of a fight really, it was a capstone. The bomb killed both of the supports, and that just loses a fight. Without supports, you can't stay up, and you just you just have to walk away.
Yeah.
And
As Dive, you can't really do that though, right?
no, once you're in, you're in.
Oh, but it seems like our next fight is going right on off. 2 DPS ults off already. Wait, that's 3. That's 4. Wait a minute. 4 ult on the side of Bobfish to close this fight out. But oh my god, even then Zeit goes down anyway, which might be that might be a terrible mistake from Bobfish. They might lose the fight despite popping 4 ults. Oh my god, it's such a hard fight to play when you don't have a tank. But, I mean, they're trying their best. Stormbird goes down first, though. Genji's next up on the block. And, oh, my God. That's a lock fight despite having 4 ults. Oh, my God.
And I said that's game. Honestly, without some form of miracle on the side of Bobfish, that you can't come back from losing 4 ultimates from one fight and losing it.
Yeah, I mean, all they have is Diva Bomb, but look at Payload's right there with 2.5 minutes left. I can't even touch? I don't think they can. He has to jump down immediately. Oh my god, 1 meter off, but that's D-Meg and the support down it. Oh my god, that's a tank gone as well. Oh my god. Is that a triple kill for our support here? No, not quite, but either way, the fight's over. that's an ult to seal the deal. And I believe that is a 3. That's 3-0 for Worcestershire sauce.
It is.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Worcestershire sauce to Bobfish. Now, I just don't know what you think of this game, honestly.
You want my opinion?
I want your opinion real quick.
In my humble opinion, I would say that was just a very nice positional game by Worcestershire sauce. Especially, I mean, at first I thought this is just a very nice, they're playing from the right angles to hold off the dive from Bobfish. But after seeing them win a fight against 4 ults, like back to back, actually not even back to back, 4 ults in the exact same moment. That's how I knew they already placed themselves in the perfect spots to just hold everything together. Because in any other instance, if you see a team pop 4 ults, just say, nope, okay, we'll just win the next fight, it's fine. But no, they did not want to do that, and they just walked in and they just said, yeah, we're gonna go through this door and you guys are gonna die. That's what happened, and that's exactly what, I mean, that's not what they intended probably, but they were like, sure, I'll take it. I mean, again, I'm not the one to fully analyze this. I'm just here to say, hey guys, this was cool. And this was indeed cool. But I am glad that you're now a Dorado believer, because
I'm a Dorado believer now.
I've been telling people for years it's my favorite map, and everyone's like, really? It is? I'm like, yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite personally, but I will say it's up there now. You honestly boosted it like a tier or 2 on my tier list. I had Dorado like C or B tier. Now it's like A or S, honestly. All our tier list content believers. But
yeah, if you
one
stick
thing
around at the end of the stream, we'll do a tier list.
we'll do a tier list. Okay. For all of our viewers who want to know my opinion, at least, which I don't think any of you do, but I think one word describes Worcestershire sauce, which is discipline. Every time they take a fight, they know the ebb and flow. They know that when Zeit pushes in, right? They need to either let him through to do some damage, or you can just all back away together. And both of those events happened. They either let Zeit through, and then they destroyed their backline, destroyed Bobfish's backline faster, or they all pulled back, which is what happened when the 4 ultimates got popped at once. They all went backwards. They gave him a lot of space off of a cart, and they just allowed them to play the game for a few seconds, and their ultimates ended, and then they were just walked back in it, and it might as well have been an fight with 0 ultimates. That is a difference. It's positional for sure, but I feel like it's more so like how well they understand the flow of the fight. I feel like that's the main difference between these two teams. If I had
Yeah,
to say there's a strength for Bobfish, though, it would definitely be aggression. I feel like when push comes to shove, Bobfish is a better team, like in the fight.
that's an interesting opinion. I did not expect you to say that, but I would have to agree that they have a very nice synergy going. But I was going to add on to your point about Worcestershire shots is that they understand like the momentum that they can gain, and they like one thing I was going to mention was death timers. In a lot of these fights, I noticed that they lose like one person, but it almost didn't matter because they understood we just have to hold for about 5 seconds or at least 5 or 10 seconds more, and that difference doesn't even matter. And they played the characters that worked well into that. Diva has defense matrix, and since they buffed it, you can play more like Brawl than you could before. And when you have Mei around, you're not killing her for at least 20 seconds because of Crystal and the fact that she has a lot more health and that she is a huge threat and you can't really get that close to her. Like, they understood their limits and they definitely, use all of them to their advantage to just make every fight work despite letting the dive comp get some picks.
I very much agree with you there. I feel like uh maybe you should take my job now. Gosh. No, but these fights, what they really show is that these teams do understand the game. It's just the way that they try to play it is just a little bit different, and one's working a bit better than the other. You see pro teams, like even like back when Overwatch League existed, both played these sorts of styles where they have like one peak of aggression or they try to play the momentum of the game, and both work very well. It's just in this instance, I feel like Worcestershire sauce is a little bit better at doing the ebb and flow.
Right. Yeah, again, just understanding the momentum of each fight, but seems like we're having a bit of a change of pace here. It's gonna be a double brawl comp. Zai has switched over to the Ram, and unfortunately his character is gonna be the first to fall, followed by his Mei, which I mean, again, this is just a very nice display of positional play from Worcestershire sauce as they just push their way around the aggression and just take out the key players before they have a chance to reposition and react, which is just amazing. And despite having a brawl comp, they're playing a really well aggressive push here. I guess, shaking up the flow a little bit because again, they're the ones on the offensive this time. If you notice, they went in first and they got the first kills and the first shots off.
They did.
But
I think Bobfish are a little bit scared right now. But what's happening is Ryan is playing with the Lucio, with the Reaper, and they're kind of playing as like a single core unit, like one character that's just really strong together.
Yeah, but it seems like the Maywall's gonna go off though to isolate Ryan, but it's not gonna be enough to kill him. That shield's just a little too healthy, and that's 2 more kills on the side of Worcestershire sauce as they push their way deep into the enemy backline, and that is Yarrow down to clean that fight off, and that's a nice team ace on the side of Worcestershire sauce. Oh my god, and they just make it to the first checkpoint already, which gives them forward spawn.
It does.
That's gonna be huge.
I just want to follow on talking about their core. I feel the Ryan, Lucio, Reaper core that's like pushing in, but Mei is like staying behind. But the unsung hero is the Venture. They're kind of pulling in the off-angle pressure that forces them to not play the best angles possible, or forces Bobfish to play not the optimal angles.
Right, and here comes Reaper with the Death Blossom. He gets 1 kill off it, almost takes out Mei as well, but Drew's gonna do that instead with a nice Fire Strike to close it out. Oh my god, is that another team ace? Oh my
It's
god.
another team kill.
Oh my. I was going to talk about that actually because I did notice that it's Reaper and Venture on DPS, which is 2 characters that have an iframe ability, which is just really massive against, was it like the Ashe, was it the Lucio? Like, they can't really deal with that. It's really hard to, counter that type of dive, because I'm seeing like a dive brawl like hybrid synergy here. And even though Zai's gonna go in and get some, wait a minute, I was gonna say even then, no, Zai's gonna go in with Annihilation and annihilate whatever comp we were just talking about and just taking the robot back.
What happened is the core got dismantled. The Lucio was pulled off of Orion. It was honestly like yanked off of Orion by Varam pushing through with his ultimate. And what that did is it just made Orion is a very static tank. He can't move around without a Lucio. So without that Lucio, they just weren't able to play the game. He was just stuck in the middle of no man's land.
Right, and again, that just sealed the deal. Just the one misstep. Here come. Oh my God, I forgot about that. You can't cleanse the right ult to shatter. Unfortunately, he's not gonna earn any kills just yet. But oh my God, just a very nice right ult. And wait a minute, that's that a blizzard that counter it off? Oh my God, it is. The Rust and Sky just making clean work of this fight. They're cleaning up. The Brawl versus Brawl is lasting a little longer than the Dive versus Brawl, but oh my God, just again back and forth tug of war, and that's just another victory for Worcestershire Sauce.
I do want to note, while Worcestershire Sauce was struggling there, what happened again? I think that Zeit has identified that the Lucio is the problem, and they're trying to pull the Lucio off of Ryan every time. Luckily, the Lucio was able to get out and come back to his Ryan, which allowed them to win, but if that happens again and again, we might see a very different game.
Right, and it seems like Russ is gonna go in first, get that kill on Zeit. Tank is down, but it's gonna be way easier. But with the this Nano Reaper, I mean, you should win that fight. Just going back and forth. But here comes the B. Rio's trying to save the fight despite losing the tank. They're trying their hardest, but unfortunately, it won't warrant them the fight because my God, the payload, the robot is still running up the final home stretch, 110 meters to 8. And I mean, things are now looking great for Bobfish, but do you think they're going to be able to pull something out here for us?
This is Overwatch, man. Anything can happen in this game. I've seen fights even worse than this just completely turn around.
Right, and here comes a Blossom to finish off Rio, and oh my God, just to clean up the fight. Triple kill in response for his own life, though. Very nice push there, and that's going to clean up. Oh my God, wait a minute, did he just win?
That is match, actually, right now.
Oh my God, not even an overtime. Wait a minute.
4-0, I believe. That was a 4-5, wasn't it?
I wasn't mentally prepared for the game to end right there. But just with that massive ult to take out 3-4 people almost, I mean, like, that just sealed the deal once more. And even though Zeit did get this very massive ult to pull the Lucio away from the ride, a very nice play, but unfortunately, it just, like, it wasn't enough. And Worcestershire Sauce were just able to waltz on in and just win fight after fight. It seems, I mean, like, we know that Bobfish is a very dive-heavy team, so seeing them on Brawl, it's just, again, out of their comfort zone, not what they practice. It wasn't like the simulations at all.
No.
And, I mean, it just showed that Worcestershire Sauce is a better Brawl team. But if
and
that's...
unfortunately, this is Brawl meta. I feel like the positions would have been very flipped if the meta was dive. It kind of is sad to see because I want to see a rematch in just like 2 more patches, you know?
yeah, maybe if, you know, again, if the meta shifts, which we know happens quite a bit with each patch, I kind of want to see if this dive team can win, because I definitely believe that they have the skills to win these games. They have the team synergy to win, but unfortunately, it's just, you know, the game is not in their favor right now. It's like when you play a game and you're like, why is my character so bad? Or like, why do I have to play this character? Because you're the better character, you know? Like, it doesn't feel great, but I mean, you can tell that, like, they're good at this game. It's just they were at disadvantage this whole time. And
I mean, they got to the finals. They had to fight through so many teams to get here. Very good teams too, I will note. But it's just the end.
yeah, I mean, I find it hard to believe that. Is that game? I mean, like, I thought
That's match.
Yeah,
that's match.
Best of
It took
7, right?
less
Yeah,
than an
yeah.
hour. That took 45 minutes.
That was quick, but I mean, it goes to show that Worcestershire Sauce, despite us not knowing what they're gonna walk in with, I mean, they walked in with business. I mean, they took care of everything, and they just, you know, with a clean sweep, they just, you know, walked on through the dive. They persevered, and, you know, they got paid for it. So congratulations to them, despite this being a very quick match, despite being a brawl meta, which should be longer. I mean, they did a great job, and they definitely deserve this victory.
Certainly. I feel like both teams deserve to be here, honestly. It didn't look like it for stat line. I do hate to say it's a 4-0 stat line, but both these teams earned their place here, and both these teams had very good players and very good team play, which is much more important than the players, honestly. But it's just brawl versus dive. Wins the brawl meta. It's just all there has to be.
It's kind of just how it goes. There's not much of a question to it. So I mean, I guess it was written from the start, but I mean, again, I was ready for this to be a very even match. Unfortunately, it just wasn't it. But I think I think we haven't officially decided this. But do you want to do a quick little interview with our winning team to
If we're allowed
bring some
to,
light?
very much so.
I think we can. So yeah, I think while we are settling in after a very nice, I was going to say long, but a very nice match of Overwatch, we are going to prepare an interview with our winning team and maybe shed some light on the mysterious circumstances that led them to this game today.
Yeah, where are we gonna be doing an interview? Or are you setting it up somewhere right
I
now?
think we're setting it up here in the call. We'll drag them in here. Yeah. Yeah. So while we set that up, we will be right on back.
You
Don't
could
go
do a
anywhere.
tier list.
What
If
tier
we're
list?
allowed to, we could do tier list.
Let's do the interview first. Then we'll do a tier list.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
we'll figure out for that. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Sky Mirage, the May, on the winning team of this match, Worcestershire Sauce. I said that correctly, right?
Worcestershire
You'll never
sauce.
know.
We will never know, but anyway, welcome Sky to the VIP room. How are we feeling about this game after the dust has settled?
Felt really good. I mean, we were a little antsy going into it. Did a few warm up matches beforehand just to make sure we were getting into it, just goofing off a little bit, just trying to make sure our mechanics were somewhat down and just preparing ourselves for the different kind of maps. We knew they played a lot of dives, so definitely trying to not get picked off.
All right.
Yeah, really. How'd you guys really prep for that though? Did you play against some dive teams in Scrim or just
Yeah, so in the round robin series, we played against them, and the first map we were just getting, we're actually two maps really, we were getting absolutely rolled. I mean, their dive comp was extremely good. Their Zeet is really good on that monkey, and they have a really strong dive. We were trying to figure out like how we could stay alive because our supports were constantly getting picked off. We were switching up our comp every other fight. We were losing most fights, and then about towards the end of the second map, we started to try to figure out a groove that worked for us. We kind of worked around that, switched our tank over, just people switching people with more survivability and staying closer. And we just knew that if we grouped, stayed together in a little bubble and hugged each other, that they would be a lot harder for them to get value off of them just kind of picking us off one by one.
Okay. I actually had a very interesting question to ask, kind of related to this planning thing, but something that we realized a little too late, a little unfortunately, was your team, Worcestershire Sauce, we could not find any data, like we couldn't collect any like streams or VODs or anything, because apparently we never live streamed your games. So how do you think you played that kind of mysterious wild card to your advantage here?
Well, I think most of the teams already kind of knew somewhat what we played. We played pretty much all the teams once, so they already got like an idea of what we kind of did. But we really just, with the scheduling, sometimes it just didn't line up with times that were available to stream. And we really kind of just went with what we were comfortable on. We went with people who we could do the best with. I mean, our tank loves to play Diva, loves to play Ryan, so that's kind of what we went with. Druso's always super confident on the Cassidy. Ouija's a solid support. He's been solid since the start of the series. So, and we kind of just went with our strengths and tried not to stray away from it too much because what we're comfortable on is what would work best, and we just stuck with it.
Okay, nice,
yeah.
nice. So I guess the real wildcard part was mostly for our viewers then, because again, I mean, you did play every team, so they kind of like I said, they kind of knew what you guys were playing already. They kind of knew what you guys played. So I guess in that case, the mystery was mostly for us as the viewers. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Do you have any questions, Momo?
I
I'm trying to think of them right now.
I very much do have a few questions. Um, so did you intentionally pick up the May for these matches because you
Oh
knew it
yeah.
was going to be very strong against their comp?
Yeah, so we knew they really liked to play with that Lucio Ana core for the supports. So I knew that if I could wall off the Ana to stop some of the healing, to block that healing coming in from the tank, I knew it would be a lot harder for Monkey to get inside of our back line and do some damage without that incoming healing, because Lucio is not going to provide enough healing for him. So I knew that if I was able to isolate that Ana from the tank, we were able to get a lot better picks, and it really worked out there. Where the second I saw Monkey dive in, I would put up that wall and we would isolate him and try to get a pick there. And it seemed to throw it into quite a bit of chaos, and it worked pretty well for us.
Yeah, and on that final map, I saw you guys play a very strong Reaper Lucio Reinhardt core, and then have the like try to have the Anima backline, then have like the flanking venture on the side. Was that a pre-planned strategy for that map, or was
Uh,
it?
Honestly, the final map we kind of just winged it. We knew push was our weakest map because the first time we played against Bobfish, they absolutely rolled us on push because we knew we know their dive's really strong. We came out expecting them to have a dive comp on push. So we were very surprised to see that they had completely switched it up just like we had. So at the end of the day, it kind of worked out for us where when we switched, they switched too, and we kind of just winged it. And because we expected again not to do too well on the push map, it was since it was our weakest type of map, and just winged it. I tried to get the flanking venture just because I knew that their range was very limited. They had the Ash, and kind of just poking it in to getting some poke damage in to let our Rhine take space, and just really just disrupt their back line a little bit.
Okay. Sorry.
No, if you have a question already,
yeah,
I have one too,
okay.
but you can go ahead first.
I was gonna say like a quick little addendum to that. So because you picked Venture, was it kind of like intentional that you had two iframe DPSs? You had Reaper and Venture that just can't get hurt at all, like when they press one button. Like, was that intentional, or did you kind of know that was part of the
I mean,
strategy?
it kind of just happened. Like, I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna play Mei here because I can't get great wall value. I guess I'll just play Venture because why not? If we're playing this like brawly comp with the Ryan and with Lucio, having Venture be able to like scoot around and kind of disrupt their formation could work well. And I was just like, let's run it. And then he just wanted to play Reaper just in case they had that monkey was actually one of the main reasons for the Reaper, and it was working even into the comp where they didn't have the monkey, so we just stuck with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I do want to ask, how do you feel about playing into their maps? Like they were choosing Dubai, they were choosing Dorado. These are very like historically divey maps. How do you feel playing the brawl in those maps against them?
So we were just really, really we were just confident of what we were doing. We were gonna switch up. If they ever decided to switch their comp, we were gonna switch too. Our comp was again mainly to deal with because we knew how strong their dive was. We wanted to make sure that our number one priority was shutting down those coordinated dives so they can't get much value on it. Like, for example, the May also, if they dive, I can kind of stall that out for a little bit with my ice block. I can just say nope, I'm leaving this fight for a little bit, and just survivability there. And we knew that we could kind of just keep them zoned out with that diva, you know, each absorbing all the stuff, doing high damage to the bubble. May allows for a lot of control of that high ground in those tunnels where you can just block them off. So we kind of just stuck with that brawly type comp to deal with the monkey dives.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I do want to say is that I do want to ask Raver, uh, this was a more dive-centric meta, would you be confident in playing dive into them, or would you try to stay the same like sort of comp idea where you're
We
playing
would
this very
probably
anti-dive?
stay the same comp because like I mean we acknowledge that their dive was very strong, probably a stronger dive than me. I know dive is one of my weaker play styles, probably one of the weakest ways for me to play personally, and their dive was really greatly executed. So I think we probably would have still stuck with our little kill circle, if you will, where we're kind of just staying together so that we can't get picked off because you know we saw Yarrow how great we know how good he is on Tracer, how good he is on those dive characters that are great at excelling off picking off the back line. So we wanted to make sure we didn't allow him to get that value without being punished. That if he was diving to try to pick off someone low, we had multiple people around him to, you know, trade him for that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions, ever?
Oh, honestly, you pretty much kind of asked everything I feel like asking. I mean, like,
I
it
do
just
have another question if you don't
oh, you do. Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. Go ahead and ask. I'm not the one doing the math here.
So I feel like it's a little bit taboo, but since we didn't have any streams of your last few games, how do you feel about this match versus like the match against Fungi?
Um, hmm.
Do you mind please be a little
Like,
bit
what do you
kind if you
mean?
want to say anything? Like, I
Like,
mean,
hmm.
You kind of make
Like, what
it
do you mean by
like,
that?
like I know this is a very broad question. Like, how was your confidence level going to this game versus going into the game against Fungi, who is one of
I
the
think
better
we were more
teams in round
comfortable. We were
robin?
more confident going into Fungi, mainly because we knew like the first time we played them, we played a lot of Mauga. We knew that with some of the changes that Diva would make it harder for Mauga to get value, which kind of forced him not to play that Mauga, which had given us some trouble the first time. Whereas into Bobfish, we knew that we had a lot of trouble with him. We weren't as sure because we knew that we had a decent dive counter. We weren't sure what we'd do if they switched because we'd never seen them play any other formation than that. So we didn't know what we'd do if they decided to switch up the comp. So we were definitely more confident playing against Fungi than here today because we had we really only had one plan, and if they switched up their comp, it would be something we hadn't seen before, so we'd have to adjust and adapt to that.
Hmm. That makes a lot of sense. I just wanted to ask because our viewers don't really know how your last few games have been. Just
Yeah.
uh, just the prep work you put into this game and understanding the compositions really showed. Honestly, we were commenting during your games about how you were disciplined throughout the entire time. Like your entire team was disciplined. You fell back when you knew they were trying to push in and take advantage of you guys, or you just decide to break into parts in order to destroy their backline as they destroy yours. Very traditional dive idea.
Yeah, no, we were definitely we definitely prioritized getting that Ana, getting the backline out. We knew that because we had the brig, our backline was a little bit more sustained than theirs, so we figured we could kind of take theirs out faster while our brig kind of sustains our backline a little bit longer for us to overall win that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I started at the same
no,
time.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Honestly,
no, I mean, do you have any other questions or?
no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a question. I was just want to say that like it seemed like that there not only were there a lot of cards that just fell into place, it just seemed that like you guys had everything prepared for a counter dive, which I mean clearly it was executed perfectly because I mean if you remember like in the Dorado game, you guys were faced with 4 ults at the exact same time, yet you guys still turn around and just won the fight like nothing even happened. Like that was just absolutely amazing. I was starstruck when that happened. Like I just want to say that you guys definitely did the homework. You had all the preps set up. You knew you kind of even though you guys were like less confident than last time, you guys kind of knew what the plan was and just followed it accordingly.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we had that Kiri, and they actually intentionally played back a little bit farther, was so that when they do use all those sets at once, we can kind of cleanse the EMP. You know, EMP is like a big fight winner, and then really like a lot of the time with my May ult, I was really just using it for zoning to try to disrupt that. Because like if they're focused on diving me and I kind of isolate that area with the blizzard and force them out of it, it's a lot harder to make use of that space, make use of that dive, and get the value off of it when you're kind of can't stay in that area.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I was just kind of like thinking that like if their team was able to kind of push through and get the right positioning, then it would be very hard for Brawl to fight. But the thing is with Brawl, it's I would say easier as well because you just have to survive the initial 10 seconds of a dive and you pretty much have to fight, which I
Yeah,
feel like was what was kind of part of the plan since you guys were playing very sustainable characters, Brig, May, even Diva now. Like it was definitely like you guys just knew what was happening and that was that.
yeah, it definitely helped after the first time we played them. You know, like I said, knowing how good, like, because they were picking up our backline extremely quickly, and so having that experience in the past and learning off those mistakes before today definitely helped us. You know, not make those same mistakes today and be more prepared.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely paid off. You guys win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm completely out of questions now.
I do have one more like kind of quick question just to ask.
Right.
Before walking into this game, if you had to give like you and your team a percentage of confidence that you're going to win this map, what do you think it would have been, or this match?
Um, that's a tough question. We definitely had like a joking confidence going in, like, oh yeah, we're gonna win. But we really weren't quite sure. We knew we'd have to play push no matter what, since it was the best of 7. We weren't confident on our push. I'd say we were very confident on our control and flashpoint. We weren't confident on push, and hybrid and escort were kind of a middle grounds
A
for
little
our
bit wild. You
confidence.
weren't sure if you were going
Yeah,
to win or
where we
lose.
thought it could go either way, but we were very comfortable on Lijiang, which was our pick for control. We were really comfortable on our control and those centralized points where you fight around a point, because we knew that the dive they wouldn't have as much space to play around it, and if we're fighting on that centralized point, we were confident that we could win on those maps.
Yeah, it,
Yeah, but I did ask for a number if you have one. I just
Uh, 60.
60%.
Yeah,
Would that be higher or lower if you played this last patch before tank changes?
probably lower.
Lower, like 50? It could be like a coin flip.
Maybe. And although the first time we played them, it was before the patch, so I'd say we'd be a little bit less confident, but still fairly confident since we did have like the overall strategy together. I think it would have. I don't think it would have been much different than 60 against this comp.
Okay, so maybe like 57.
Maybe like 55. Yeah.
All right. I just want to ask. I just want to know if you think that the new patch affected your game plan at all. Really?
Yeah. Only a little bit.
Okay. That's all I have to say.
yeah, I'm pretty much drained of questions, but once again, congratulations. You guys definitely, put in the work and it paid off. So hats off to you and your team. If you guys are getting together, go out and party or something. You guys definitely earned this big title victory for the Summer Student Series. But if that's all from us, thank you. Thank you everyone for sticking around and watching the interview. And if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that follow button and come back tomorrow, because I think tomorrow we got our Rocket League finals, which I believe is going to be just as intense as tonight's game. So go ahead and watch that tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time it is, but tune in for that. And I think on Sunday, is it our? I forget which game it is. We have a finals on Sunday as well. If
Is
you
it
remember.
the Valorant finals?
It might be
Yes.
Valorant. Yeah, it's Valorant. So yeah, we got Rocket League tomorrow and Valorant on Sunday. So make sure to check those out when the stream turns on. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Make sure to follow, subscribe if you have the money or Prime, and have a good night.
Good night.